Guys, what's going on? We're back here. I want to talk to you about something that I do, and I want to talk about if it's going to be right for you as a unseasoned or newer real estate investor. So, like the title of this says, I buy between 5 and 10 properties a month, sight unseen or remotely. Okay, how does that work? What goes into buying remote? I know that you probably hear this a lot. You probably follow a lot of people that say they buy properties remote. I'm going to go into kind of what that means and how exactly you go about doing that. Now, when buying properties remotely, there are a couple things that are completely non-negotiable that must be done, okay? When you buy properties sight unseen, meaning you're not seeing the properties before you buy them. They're purchased without an appraisal, without an inspection, anything like that. Before we move forward with the purchase, it has to be obviously a good deal, right? You have to buy something that sticks out to you. It's a good deal, and it's in an area you want. It's an area that you're familiar with, okay? That's one of the biggest things with buying property sight unseen is the area that you're purchasing in. You have to understand how that area works. Okay, so I wouldn't pick up the phone and buy a property in Midwest Idaho or South Dakota because I don't know anything about those markets. Okay, so I wouldn't buy there. But in areas that I am already in, I can buy properties sight unseen. So for some of you earlier investors, is it the best way to do this to buy your first property sight unseen? Probably not. Can you still buy a property remote? Yes, because there's a difference, okay? Buying remote doesn't mean that you're not taking the necessary steps in having it inspected, having a contractor go out there, getting you a scope of work that's legitimate and accurate, and not doing due diligence, okay? There's a difference. When we purchase a house, you know, for example, you are in another state, you're purchasing a house in a state you've never been before. If you don't have a team there, things can get a little dicey, okay? Even me personally, I'm not gonna buy a house in a place where I don't have a team set up because that'd be crazy. Because then what? You buy a house and then, okay, you've maybe tried to set up a contractor to go over there, but you don't know who that contractor is. It's a recipe for disaster. The only times you can buy property remote is if you have a team set up in that area. Otherwise, you cannot buy houses remote. You can, but you're asking to lose money. And if you're on this channel, you probably like your money. You don't want to just give it away or throw it down the toilet. Predicting the rehab on properties. I have clients that ask me this all the time. You know, what do you look for? And when you're looking at a property online, there's a couple things that stick out that you absolutely need to know, okay? If the property only has one picture and it's an exterior picture, you have to ask yourself, why is that? A lot of times, if you are only seeing one picture, it's the only picture that the sellers want you to see. It's the only picture that the listing agent wants you to see because it's probably not getting any better than that. If you look at a $2 million, $3 million house online, on any of these websites, Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, any websites you guys like and use, if you look at a $2, $3 million house, it's not just gonna be one picture. Wow, the outside's beautiful. Let me look at more pictures. Oh, the inside's even better. Of course it's even better. It's beautiful. They wanna show you that. If you're looking to buy a $100,000 house or a $60,000 house and all you get is one picture, guess what? It ain't getting any better than that if there's only one, which is why they're not there. So ask yourself, what am I not seeing? When you see a listing, don't ask yourself, let me see, okay, maybe that's a couple thousand. What am I not seeing? If I see 10 pictures and I don't see a bathroom, there's probably a reason. If I see 20 pictures and I don't see a kitchen, there's probably a reason. Okay, think about it in your mind when you're budgeting this out. You know, that could be a total gut job. The bathroom could be a gut job and the kitchen could be a gut job. If I'm not seeing it, that's what I'm anticipating. Okay, I'm always anticipating the worst. Something that's become common practice in real estate listings is a property is rehabbed, okay? It has a tenant for 5 years. It goes back on the market, and instead of taking new pictures of the updated home, the company that's listing it uses the pictures from 5 years ago when the rehab took place, okay? 5 years prior to a tenant living there for 5 years, okay? So the house looks amazing, and then you see, oh, it's been listed, a long-term tenant, it's been in there, and now it's for sale, okay? Well, these aren't the pictures, these are the post-rehab pictures. Where are my updated pictures? That's commonplace right now in real estate. That's an issue because you can't see the current condition of anything. You can't see any deferred maintenance. I can't stand that, okay? So buying remote has so much more to do with getting real quotes from contractors on the ground, having people, property management companies that you trust to rely on for information. You can't predicate your purchasing of a property based on a couple pictures from a site. It's just, I've offered on properties and have purchased properties, not fully purchased, but got properties under contract where the pictures aren't even of that house, you know, and it's a total scam job because they're trying to get people like you. It's just a nightmare. Buying sight unseen is too risky. It doesn't make sense. You know, there's no reason to not have a contractor go through it. Now, I have bought stuff sight unseen at auctions. I've been to property auctions before where you can't go in the house. You're buying the house sight unseen. You can walk around the exterior, you're not allowed in. Okay, that's the only time I've bought something sight unseen, and I've been to the exterior of the house, in which case basically I walk around, I check for any exterior damage, quote the exterior work, and then kind of anticipate what a full gut job would be square footage wise based on the interior of the house. So worst case scenario, what is my number price wise to where if I have to gut the entire inside of 2,000 square feet, I know what I can build at, I know what my price is for a complete renovation based on the square footage price, right? And then I can determine, okay, if I'm in at this price, I can still make money on a flip, or I can still make money, okay? So, but still I'm there. So we're very, very rarely ever doing this. Now buying remote is different than that, okay? Because when we buy remote, we still have a team, like I've said over and over again, okay? So predicting the rehab is a lot harder than you might think that it is. Now, I can see pictures, I can tell if they're newer, if they're fresh. You know, some pictures online, they have, you know, dates on the pictures. You can always ask a listing agent if the pictures are up to date. If that's the case, then yeah, I can look at a picture and tell you how much it's going to be to rehab it. Okay, new floors. The house is 1,000 square feet. We know we can build at X dollars per square foot. So a full gut would cost you this. Okay, that roof is this. The square footage of the house, 1,000 square feet. That roof's going to cost 6,000. So you can look quickly and say, okay, that needs to be gutted. That needs to be remodeled. That needs to be fixed. That needs to be fixed. I can give a broad overview in pictures, and sometimes that's enough. But I always have stuff double checked because there's always things that you're not shown in pictures. People are trying to sell you on something. You know what I mean? They're trying to sell you a picture. They're trying to sell you an investment. So you have to have people in your corner too that are helping you make those decisions. You gotta have a team. Turnkey. This is something I hear all the time. It's something I hear in emails, I hear in comments. And guys, if you have ever thought about buying remote or purchasing a property sight unseen, drop it in the comments below. Even so, put a link to the property you were thinking about buying sight unseen. I want to see it. I want to see what you guys are looking at. I want to see what the property looked like versus the reality. Now you can't show me the reality, but drop the links below. I'd love to check them out. So turnkey is the biggest myth in real estate investing. Bar none. It's the biggest myth there is. And I'll tell you why. There is no such thing as turnkey property unless you're buying a property that has a tenant, it's occupied, it's cash flowing. and it has no deferred maintenance, which is almost 0 properties. There's no such thing. Turnkey, if you're a Section 8 investor, there's really no such thing, because when you buy a property, you need to do some things on the Section 8 inspection checklist so it passes the inspection. You have to spend money. There's no such thing as turnkey. Even some properties, they might not need any work, they might not need any deferred maintenance, but maybe they're not tenant proofed. They still have, fans. They have no locks on bathroom doors. There might not be a working window in a room. They're not tenant proof. They're not ready for a tenant to live there for 10, 15, 20 years. We need to take steps to make sure that that is the process. There's no such thing as turnkey. I use this example all the time. We could purchase a property that has red ceilings and purple walls and yellow floors. Nobody's gonna wanna live there for 15 years. It could be great, it could be move-in ready, but it's not turnkey. It still needs work. We need to create an investment that is going to sustain itself over the course of 10, 15, 20 years. We need to make sure that we have flooring that's not buckling in areas. We need to make sure that the house is completely waterproofed. We need to make sure that things are done the right way. There's no such thing as turnkey. If someone's telling you something's turnkey, they're selling you some snake oil. Don't buy it, okay? And lastly, guys, buying remote is for seasoned investors, or it's for people that are getting into real estate and acquiring a full team, okay? My clients are buying remote, but that's only because they're using my contractors, management companies, real estate agents, insurance companies, title companies, attorneys. They're using everybody, okay? That's the only way you can do this. If you live in Texas and you want to invest in Michigan and you don't have a team there, it's not smart to do it. You need to be seasoned. You need to know what to look for. And I don't care if you are more seasoned, buying sight unseen is stupid. Unless you're literally there and it's an auction, that's kind of the only time that I'll allow it. And even so, I even still go to auctions with my contractors. But I buy remote 5 to 10 properties a month. I'm doing it all the time, but still I'm doing it in places where I have teams, okay? I'm doing it in places where I'm set up for success to do it the right way. All right? We'll see you next time.